Democrats and the media are now unloading all their nasty attacks on rising Trump White House star and new press secretary, Karoline Leavitt.
And I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
In a world where daytime television thrives on heated debates and eye-opening revelations, The View has always been at the forefront.
Donald Trump, I'm stunned and amazed by his new White House spokeswoman today. She's actually the youngest ever in that job.
Front of controversy. Yet nothing could have prepared fans or the network for the bombshell that recently erupted.
Karoline Leavitt, she's just 27 years old, but boy, was she giving it to the Trump haters in her first White House briefing.
Resulting in the abrupt exit of longtime co-host Joy Behar. How did a single offhand comment spiral into legal threats and a media frenzy? And why is everyone from die-hard fans to high-level executives left reeling? Buckle up. This story is packed with unexpected twists, hidden agendas, and enough drama to keep everyone talking. For years, Joy Behar was more than just a co-host on The View. She was the show's core personality, delivering strong opinions and stirring the pot whenever possible. Her unapologetic style attracted a loyal
We know wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you.
following, but also made her a magnet for controversy. Even so, nothing quite matched what happened when the conversation turned to Karoline Leavitt, the newly appointed White House press secretary under Donald Trump. Leavitt, at only 27, already boasts an impressive resume. She's recognized not only for
Without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table.
her rapid rise in politics, but also for her unwavering stance against critics, qualities that quickly gained her national attention. Yet when Behar decided to weigh in, she dismissed all that in a single breath, insinuating that Leavitt's real qualifications.
Isn't it rich that The View is saying she got the job based on looks when DEI is all about based on looks?
Adding fuel to the fire,
Had less to do with her experience and more to do with her appearance. One remark, one flash of opinion, and a domino effect of outrage began. On air, the fallout was immediate. Viewers gasped. Some of Behar's co-hosts shifted.
No, it's not. So first of all, and I have had my objections to the job that Karine Jean-Pierre did, but she worked in politics for 21 years, 5 presidential campaigns, and worked in 2 administrations.
Uncomfortably in their seats. And thanks to the internet's lightning pace, that controversial comment traveled far beyond the studio, whipping up an online storm. Within hours, social media was buzzing with disbelief, accusations of hypocrisy, and calls for accountability. But that wasn't even the whole story. Karoline Leavitt wasted no time responding. Rather than issuing a muted statement, she went on the offensive and filed a lawsuit against Joy Behar, claiming her remarks amounted to defamation and malicious intent. By framing Leavitt as nothing more than a pretty face, Behar allegedly cast doubt on her professional capabilities, something Leavitt argued.
Karoline Leavitt is the press secretary at the White House, doing a great job. Such a great job that the ladies of The View feel the green monster coming upon them.
It was no trivial matter when the entire nation watches her field tough questions in the White House briefing room. Suddenly, news outlets across the political spectrum zeroed in, and the internet reaction was like pouring gasoline on a lit fuse. Critics from every corner blasted Behar's comment for being dismissive and, in some cases, undeniably hypocritical. After all, Behar had spent years advocating for women's empowerment, demanding equal treatment and respect, only to reduce another woman's professional standing with one snide remark. Online, the hashtag hypocrisy at The View began trending, while memes flooded Twitter and Facebook. Some viewers argued Behar was simply telling it like it is, but many others called for an apology, suspension, or both. Conservative commentators gleefully seized the moment, pointing out that if a Republican said anything remotely like that, they'd be skewered. Meanwhile, liberals found themselves conflicted. Could they defend?
And so Joy Behar just offered her analysis on why Leavitt was picked for the role.
Joy Behar, without tarnishing their own stances on women's rights. But the online uproar was just the tip of the iceberg. Behind the scenes, the situation was about to reach boiling point. As soon as the lawsuit hit, ABC's executives went into crisis mode. The network had weathered controversies before, but a defamation suit was a different beast, especially when it targeted one of their marquee hosts. Emergency meetings were called, and the scramble to continue.
Bang, Rowan, I couldn't do that at 27. No nonsense, straight to the point, courage.
The fallout began. Staffers at The View were soon caught in the crossfire. Some sided with Behar, insisting her comment had been blown out of proportion.
But even factoring in that she's a nice-looking lady, I love that the Liv's attacks on conservatives right now are that we're hot and cool.
Others quietly whispered that her remark was inexcusable and undermined every feminist principle the show claimed to champion. Tensions festered in production rooms and conference calls. Allegations of favoritism, double standards, and corporate pressure overshadowed everything else. Rumors also circulated that advertisers were getting cold feet, worried about being associated with what might become a lengthy, high-stakes legal battle. ABC's legal department began assessing the potential risks, not just from Leavitt's lawsuit, but also from a possible chain reaction of negative publicity. If Behar's words proved actionable in court, what did that mean for editorial freedom? Where would the network draw the line between free speech and liability? In short, the corridors of ABC were suddenly filled with hushed conversations about Joy Behar's future, the show's credibility, and the immense challenge of damage control. And, by all accounts, the pressure was becoming unsustainable. Just when tensions seemed at their peak, ABC dropped the biggest bombshell yet. Joy Behar would be leaving The View. Officially, the statement was vague, saying she had decided to step away, but inside sources painted a very different picture. Some insisted the network pushed her out to stave off further fallout from the lawsuit, while others claimed Behar knew she was on the losing side and chose to exit before the scandal swallowed her entire career. The reaction from viewers was starkly polarized. On one side, critics rejoiced, declaring that Behar's ouster was a necessary step for accountability. They felt it validated the notion that personal attacks, especially those wrapped in hypocrisy, have consequences, no matter how famous you are. "It's about time The View cleans house," tweeted one longtime critic. Meanwhile, loyal fans mourned the loss. In their eyes, Behar was the voice of unfiltered commentary in a media landscape that often feels overly cautious. Many felt she was getting punished for speaking her mind, claiming that major networks caved too quickly under political pressure. A segment of the audience argued it wasn't just Behar's career at stake, but also the larger question of free expression on daytime TV. Still, with the lawsuit looming, ABC appeared more concerned about survival than philosophical debates. From a purely strategic standpoint, letting Behar go seemed like a clear message. The network wouldn't stand behind remarks that incited such enormous backlash. Whether this was the morally right decision or a panicked corporate move is a question that remains wide open. Without Joy Behar, The View faces a pivotal crossroads. For years, her outspokenness defined the show, anchoring its debates and energizing its fan base. Now the panel has a gaping hole where Behar's fiery monologues once rang out. Filling that vacancy won't be easy, especially under the scrutiny of audiences still buzzing about the scandal. Producers must decide whether to replace Behar with someone who shares her blunt style or pivot to a different vibe entirely. Some insiders suggest bringing in a more balanced lineup that represents a broader political spectrum, hoping to repair the show's tarnished credibility. Others believe doubling down on strong liberal voices is the only way to retain the show's identity. In the court of public opinion, though, The View is already damaged goods for some. Critics who question the show's commitment to genuine discourse see Behar's departure as proof that The View can't handle its own rhetoric. And, ironically, Joy Behar's actions contrast sharply with her lengthy track record of calling out sexism and shallow judgments. That contradiction lingers, leaving a mix of outrage and disillusionment among viewers. As for Karoline Leavitt, she's emerged from this fray more recognized than ever. Filing a lawsuit against a high-profile TV personality shined an even brighter spotlight on her. Critics say it's a publicity play, though Leavitt supporters argue she had every right to defend her professional reputation. Regardless of motive, the saga has put her on the map in a way few press secretaries have experienced. And then there's Joy Behar herself. Will she fight back against Leavitt's defamation claims, potentially stirring the pot for months or even years to come? Or will she lie low, allowing time to pass before plotting a return to media in some new format? Her vocal fanbase hopes for a comeback, but the stain of this scandal might prove hard to wash away. Meanwhile, The View is left to pick up the pieces, pondering whether this scandal marks the beginning of a downward spiral or a turning point to revitalize the show. In daytime TV, controversy can often boost ratings, yet this situation feels different, weightier, because of the legal dimension and the stark accusations of hypocrisy. For a show that built its brand on outspoken women discussing big issues, this meltdown hits close to home. No one expects a neat, tidy ending to this fiasco. The lawsuit could drag on. Public opinion might continue to shift. More bombshells could drop. Yet one reality stands out. An iconic voice in daytime television has been forced off the air under a dark cloud of scandal. And in today's hyper-connected world, that cloud won't dissipate anytime soon. Joy Behar's departure from The View began with a single incendiary comment, one that ignited a chain reaction of public outrage, legal actions, and behind-the-scenes chaos. Was it a long overdue reckoning or an overblown punishment for an outspoken personality? Has Karoline Leavitt turned the tables on a veteran TV host? Or is this just another round of political theater? More importantly, how will The View recover, if at all? This controversy cuts deeper than simple political bickering. It challenges the show's identity, ABC's reputation, and the broader question of whether daytime TV can still serve as an open forum for women's voices without succumbing to toxic feuds. But the final verdict belongs to the viewers. Do you believe ABC made the right move by parting ways with Joy Behar, or do you think the network caved under pressure? Can The View remain relevant in a time when authenticity and accountability mean more than ever? Share your take in the comments, hit that like button if you're just as stunned as we are, and remember, this scandal's only just begun. Stay tuned for more twists, revelations, and possibly the biggest shakeups daytime TV has seen in decades. Still catching your breath from that tea and craving more? Drop a like, then hit subscribe to Tea Sesh with Jessica, your favorite host, so you're first in line for every sip. With more drama on the horizon, you definitely don't want to get left behind.